One religion just grew more than every other religion on earth, combined. And it's almost certainly not for the reason you think. And the map in your head, Islam in the desert, Christianity in the West, is already wrong. Because there's one hidden machine deciding the future of every faith. And once you see it, the news stops surprising you. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how it works. Here's something almost everyone believes, that the world is slowly leaving religion behind. And in a lot of places, that's exactly what's happening. Churches emptying, surveys filling up with people who tick no religion. But step back and look at the whole planet, and the picture flips. The share of humanity that follows a religion isn't shrinking. It's holding, and by some measures, climbing. Now ask the obvious next question. If religion is growing, which one is growing the fastest? Most people have a guess ready, and most people picture the same map. The Middle East, deserts, a story that lives mostly in one corner of the world. Here's the first crack in that picture. Today, the largest share of the world's Muslims doesn't live in the Middle East at all. Roughly 6 in 10 live across the Asia-Pacific, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. And the religion you might call Western, Christianity, is quietly leaving the West. More Christians now live across Africa, Asia, and Latin America than in Europe and North America. And sub-Saharan Africa has already passed Europe as the place with the most Christians on Earth. So the map in your head is already out of date. The question feels simple. The answer is going to be stranger than you think. So let's go to the numbers, not opinions, the data. The biggest study of its kind tracks the whole world, decade by decade. And between 2010 and 2020, one religion grew more than every other religion on Earth, combined. Islam added 347 million people in 10 years. More than Christianity, the unaffiliated, Hinduism, everyone else added together. Now, here's where most explanations stop. They give you that number and let you fill in the reason yourself. And the reason people usually reach for is conversion, the idea that millions are switching faiths. But the data says something quieter and far more interesting. At the global level, almost none of that growth comes from people converting in or out. So if it isn't conversion driving the fastest growing religion in the world, then what is? And there's a second question hiding underneath the first. We keep saying fastest growing like it means one clean thing, one winner. What if it doesn't? So follow the mechanism. It comes down to 2 numbers. First is fertility. A Muslim woman has, on average, around 2.9 children. The average for everyone else, about 2.2. That gap sounds small. Over a generation, it isn't. The second number is age. The world's Muslims have a median age of just 24. For everyone else, 33. Put those together. A young population having more children. Those children grow up and have children of their own. That's the engine. Not conversion, demographics. Births minus deaths compounding across decades. Now watch what that same engine does to Christianity, because it tells 2 opposite stories at once. Christianity is still growing. It added 122 million people in that decade. And yet, its share of the world shrank, from about 31% down to 29%. How can a religion grow by millions and still fall behind? Because the rest of the world had babies faster. And in the places where Christianity is oldest, it's thinning. Look at Latin America. Across 6 major countries, the Catholic share dropped by 9 points or more in a single decade. Brazil and Chile, once overwhelmingly Catholic, are now under half. Where did those people go? Some to other churches, many to no religion at all. Which brings us to the group nobody expects. The unaffiliated, the nones. In the West, They're the fastest growing group of all. So here's the puzzle. If the nuns are exploding across the rich world, why don't they win globally? Same engine, reversed. The nuns are concentrated in old, wealthy countries where almost nobody is having children. They grow by switching. They lose by math. So now you're holding several pieces at once. Islam growing by births, Christianity growing in number but shrinking in share, the nuns rising in the West but stalling on the planet. And every one of those is the same engine running at a different speed: fertility and age. Which means there should be a test. If the engine is real, then somewhere a religion should be running it in reverse and actually going backwards. There is one, and almost nobody sees it coming. Buddhism. Between 2010 and 2020, it was the only major religion on Earth to shrink in absolute numbers, down 19 million people. Why? The same two numbers, flipped. Buddhism is concentrated in East Asia, the fastest aging region in the world. A median age around 40, fertility far below replacement. And it's not converting people away, it's aging out. In South Korea, roughly 6 in 10 people raised Buddhist no longer call themselves Buddhist. In Japan, about half. So now the engine is proven. It builds Islam. It hollows the West. It shrinks Buddhism. One mechanism, every direction. Which forces the real question back to the surface. With all these pieces moving at once, Islam, Christianity, the nuns, Buddhism, which one is actually growing the fastest? And here, finally, is the twist. The question doesn't have one answer. It has 4, and all 4 are true. By total people added, the fastest is Islam. By share of the whole planet, still Islam. By active conversion, it's a Christian movement. Pentecostalism, spreading church by church. By growth inside the rich world, it's the nuns. 4 metrics, 4 winners. No single answer. That's not a dodge. That is the answer. Pick how you measure, and you pick who wins. The question was never really about religion. It was about the machine underneath: births, age, time. Now you can see it. And now you can explain it to anyone. One mechanism explained the whole map: fertility, age, time. So here's the next thread to pull. The one country that could break every projection at once: India. Watch that one next.